Wow. What do you think of that? What don't you think of that? I think that girl has got everything that she deserves.
Yeah. And then if it's popular or on par with our most popular, I'm like, what am I going to have to traumatise myself with next? I might do one about a schizophrenic, because that's more, not schizophrenic, psychopath, because that's more
Relatable.
a little bit. That's more. I find that really fascinating in the facts about being a psychopath. I'll just go into that bit a little bit more rather than traumatise myself.
Okay, what are we doing?
What do you want to start? Let's start with one of yours. Let's make it about you.
What was mine? Ghosties or...
Can we save ghosties for last?
Okay, so what was my other one?
Traumatised. Oh,
There's nothing light-hearted about our podcast anymore.
The plastic surgery ones aren't too bad. I do find that in these, because when I said to you, I'm going to struggle to find a section of the podcast we've done that we can giggle about, because I knew there was nothing to laugh about.
I think the traumatised one, we can have a giggle about the traumatised.
Yes. But I'm talking about the true crime. I was like, how am I going to edit this down into something funny? I don't know if I'll be able to. And if I can't, it would just be the podcast and not. But we'll release a TikTok the day before to ease people into it. Right, so what we're doing, traumatised, let me go down to it. Literally, my brain was like, please stop reading stuff. This is the most you've read in your entire life.
Making up for lost time.
And you keep writing it all down. Seriously, babe, when I got to a point and everything just started to come off the page and was all around the room, I was like, I was like, Google, what colour? And it was like, turn it to green, love. Right. Okay. I'm ready to go. We ready? Right.
Hang on.
Okay, bear with people. Bearing with.
Yes, go. No.
Yes.
Stop. Go now. Ready, start. I saw a t-shirt that made me think of you.
What was it?
It was a Disney. It was actually
It's a Disney one.
And there was like a picture of Ariel, and she says, "But Daddy, I love him." It really tickled me.
Are you saying you didn't get it for me?
I might have.
But Daddy, I love him.
I was just like, what the fuck?
Cool. I remember saying that about my husband. But Daddy.
Me too.
Right. Oh, I'm going straight into the story. Okay,
No.
David, just let me. Are there mascara marks or anything? Do I look like a normal person? You?
Just a little bit in the corner.
This corner?
Mhm.
Oh, like eye goop. Eye bogies.
In this corner.
For fuck's sake.
Like your whole face. No.
And this corner.
Look. They know you're good.
Not that they can see, but you know, we don't want to traumatise the viewers.
How do you make that stay in?
Just by twisting it through. I've got 17 there. Do you want me to do it for you in a minute?
Yeah.
For the next one, I'll just grab you one
I
and do
want
it.
to know how to do it. I can't.
Just literally
I
weave
can't
it
do
through.
jack shit with my hair.
I know, you're useless.
Useless.
Absolutely useless.
I can plait it now.
Oh my god, I'm going to have to show you the fucking
But
hair
not-
clip
not a
I got
French-
after.
I can't French plait.
I got a snake where you
I'm
connect
excited.
it, put that through, twist your hair through the snake,
Yeah.
and then the dangly bit. It's beautiful. I mean, I can't see it, but other people will be able to see it. Anyway.
Moving on.
No wonder we've always got an 8-minute clip the day before on a fucking Tuesday. Because
I have noticed
oh
it's got
yeah,
longer.
by the way, I've got a snake.
They've got longer. They used to be only like 4 or 5 minutes.
It's because random shit pops in my head all the fucking time. And I'm just like, oh my god, yeah, did I tell you?
I'm like the ones where it literally the whole clip is us going.
So when I did Tuesday's clip, I I did the minute on TikTok and then I edited it right down because I told you the shorter they are, the quicker it spreads around and more views. And then I left in that bit, rah, and you were like, rah. I was like, I better leave the middle-aged opinion part in there, but rah, and I was like, yeah, I like that. Right. Hello everyone and welcome to Middle-Aged Opinion. I am your host Ellie.
And I'm your host Emily. And today we are looking at Traumatised Them Back, which I'm quite excited about.
Traumatised Them Back?
Traumatised Them Back. Or Traumatised.
Okay, because I was like, I swear I didn't read them back.
No, you definitely did say them
It
back.
probably did, but I was frazzled. I just put traumatised.
So, I feel like this can have like subreddits of petty revenge, and
I feel like
you've probably gone a different direction now by your face.
I'm like, Daddy, I'm so
I've
sorry.
kept it light-hearted. She's gone deep.
I'm like, but I didn't mean to. That I'm gonna check. I am checking that text, right? But it was late. Yeah, it was a Friday night.
I
was
didn't
all
notice that.
alone.
You didn't even comment.
Oh no, you did.
Yeah, I know I did.
Traumatised them back. How did I miss them back?
I don't know. Maybe I should have screenshot it.
No, it's not your fault. It's my fault. I just read too much. Yeah, I was just too...
I cannot wait to hear what you found.
Right, go on.
Okay, so I'm going first.
Sorry.
So, Traumatised Them Back, found on Reddit. This is called Made Some of My Bullies Piss Themselves in Fear.
Fair play.
And it has like subreddited matched energy.
Fair
Okay.
Okay.
So, okay, I have no proof for the pissing themselves part, but I did scare the absolute shit out of them. It all started in my second year of secondary school. I lived at a walking distance to my school, so I'd walk home on lunch break to eat in peace away from the loud crowd. As I was walking back to school, I was really in my own world until a car passed by, window down, and two girls screamed to make me jump and then laughed their asses off as the car headed to school. I'm really jumpy with an anxiety disorder, so jump scares tend to really affect me. It wouldn't have been that bad if it weren't for the fact that every time after that they passed me by my locker and I was there, they would immediately start laughing and pointing at me for a month. That month was the month of October. Do you start to see where I'm going with this? When October started, the school announced it would open the Haunted House Committee, and I thought, oh, I love acting and making up stories, so I should join. It was really fun, and I even got my dad, who was teaching at the school, to help create a whole fake scary legend to pass around in a special edition of the school's papers. I wasn't really thinking about the bullies at this point because I was just having fun with this, and at first me joining the committee had nothing to do with them. The day of the haunted house opening arrived and I ended up playing a creepy little girl in the very first part of it. I was on the stage of the auditorium singing creepily with two other people, and part of our thing was periodically we'd start screaming really loud. Guess who I quickly realised would show up? We were the very first part of the haunted house, and I recognised the two bullies coming in from afar. I put on my creepiest tone and walked closer and closer to them. Ah! I screamed so... Sorry.
What did they do?
I screamed so loud and I saw them hugging each other so tight and screamed in fear, just like in cartoons. They never recognised me, though though, and when I asked, they didn't even believe it was me. But I'm still proud that things happened like this, and I remember my little revenge fondly. It was light-hearted. It was gentle.
Yeah. No, good. She got her own back a little bit, enjoyed the moment, and for once wasn't frightened because she didn't need to be. It was nice. It was light-hearted.
It was nice, like,
yeah.
You know, like, one
Yeah.
to me.
I don't really understand why people bully continuously someone just to be an arsehole. It's just fucking horrible, isn't it? But yeah.
Yeah.
I told you before, Hattie, it's not
This
about
is very
you.
funny and also strangely wholesome. So that's nice.
Yeah, it
Good job.
it was a nice little story.
Yeah, just a
But now, so although mine is darker, it is it does fit the narrative of Traumatised Them Back.
Yeah, it's fun.
But it's really dark. Okay. Yay! Right. This is in mental health. Is it possible to traumatise yourself with your prior actions? This may sound like an odd question, but is it possible to traumatise yourself through previous things that you have done? Without going into too much detail, I went through a period of several years where I was callously cruel and uncaring towards a woman that I loved. And it really destroyed her. For the past year, I've been trying to make sense of why I acted this way. I recently started taking antidepressants, and it's like all the feelings and empathy have flooded back in, and I am absolutely horrified by how I acted. I was essentially an cruel and neglectful abuser. Realising that after my ex left me and I got on these meds has been an incredibly jarring experience. I made her pre-existing trauma so much worse, and I've been having floods of memory. A lot like flashbacks of her trying to get my affection and support and me callously ignoring her. I'm horrified thinking of how she must have felt, and I think I've cried more in the past 2 weeks than I have in the decade, and I am 30 years old. So I'm not usually at all weepy. But getting back to my original question, am I having traumatic responses to trauma I inflicted, and am I acknowledging now? Does that even make any sense? And I guess a secondary question, how is it even possible that I acted in such an abhorrent way, an abusive way, and I'm only now recognising it? I wasn't taking drugs or drinking heavily or anything like that, so I have no idea what explains it. Hoping someone has a good insight, since I'm absolutely appalled about how I treated her, and I keep having memories of mistreating her, and it's really hard not to break down in tears. Go on.
Sounds like a guilty conscience.
It does, which actually is very rarely admitted to. I don't think the antidepressants have done that, because normally that numbs you slightly.
Yeah,
I think this is just the process of the breakup, and he's processing why they broke up.
Yeah, and I think maybe because he hasn't got another relationship to jump straight back into, that actually he's got to feel the feelings a little.
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for him.
No.
I
feel nothing anymore.
Yeah, after this morning. But I also appreciate, for the first time, I'm hearing someone go, "Oh my God, I'm the worst person ever." Do shut up.
Yeah, I mean, I hear it.
What are you doing about it?
I'm not really feeling much. It is literally now, what are you going to do about it?
Right.
It is, your actions speak louder than
Stop.
words. well done for feeling your feelings, now fix it.
Right, but you can't fix it.
You can't fix it, but you can fix it in the sense of be a better person next time.
Yeah.
And you know what? Actually, tell your ex you're sorry.
Yeah. Admitting.
It doesn't fix it, it won't bring her back, but at least she can have some sort of closure of, even if she don't believe you can be like, do you know what? I'll take that, but now get out of my space.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Let her have
or
that
write
final.
a letter, an email, something like that. I think stay away from her, actually. Right, so top comment. What am I doing? I do believe you can traumatise yourself, but I'm no therapist. And as to why you acted the way you did, my boyfriend was the same around a year into the relationship. He was basically an arrogant prick. But truth is, I was the issue. I kept having panic attacks and needing him all the time, which wore him out. He was mentally and emotionally exhausted and tired. Of course, him acting the way he did as a response was only natural, but drove us both down a devilish spiral. Maybe it was the same for you. Maybe you subconsciously protected yourself from emotionally stress by being an arsehole. If that's the case, please forgive yourself. I'm not your ex, but from what I gather, I was in her position and understand if you do manage to forgive yourself for that, you might be able to cope with the trauma a little better. I wish you all the best. I can't. There's better ways to deal with it than be a fucking arsehole. Just separate. No?
Mm-hmm.
I want to go, actually, like, I get that, protecting yourself, but there's no need to be cruel. You can just say, I can't help you. You're going to have to, you know what I mean? And still be loving and supporting, but saying you're leaning on me too much, yeah,
I haven't got that energy to give for that.
Yeah, I have to protect myself, my peace. But I don't know, I can't, I will not, I refuse to write it off as you did nothing wrong.
No.
I don't care. We've all been in situations.
Do better.
I mean, even as friends then, when you've been through something, I've been through something, and I've, given you what's going on, my stress, whatever, never in those parts have I taken away from you to make up, to build my wall, taking from you, and never have you been like, you're too much, because it's give and take, right? If someone's going through something, your people should be there for you, but then you've got to give that back, and you've got to make sure that you're not tearing them apart and vice versa. So I can't agree with that fully, but I kind of get it a little bit. Anyway, over to you.
Yeah, I feel like we've definitely gone down different roads.
We are 100%.
Okay.
We're 100,000%.
Okay.
I'm just hoping I read the ghost one properly.
I'm sure you did. Right, so I'm still on Traumatised and Back, but this one has also come under passive aggressively murdered.
Okay.
Okay. So it's because we're old.
Okay. Well, we are, babe.
Not us.
Oh.
Wow.
Sorry. I thought you were, I was like, yes, we are.
Yes. No.
Yes, I am.
So it starts with not exactly traumatising, but it was still a funny answer, so I'm adding it. So lately I've noticed that my parents have been forgetting more stuff at home, way more than usual, like getting out of their house to go to work or on a walk, and seconds later ring the doorbell and go back home because they forgot their phone, their wallet, their keys, or whatever. It happened today again. I was eating breakfast and my parents went out on a walk. Just 2 seconds from the moment the door closed, I heard the doorbell ring and I get up to let my mum in. Me. Damn, lately you've been forgetting more stuff whenever you go out, huh? Mum. It's because we're getting old and we forget stuff more easily. Is that what you wanted to hear, frickin' smart ass? She was smiling, then she said, when she said that, and I knew she was joking, but I totally just deserved that answer. We both laughed at her sassy answer and she went on her way.
And there's me thinking you might want to get your carbon monoxide checked. Well, they keep forgetting shit recently more and more and more. How's your carbon monoxide detector? Huh? It's like doing a dark place from the first podcast. You're all going to die. Leave the house immediately. Collect the pets.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, getting old. I mean, I did that at 20, 30, yesterday, earlier today. It's constant. But it probably is an old age thing. Or carbon monoxide. Go on.
I'm 68. I've been leaving the house and coming straight back because I forget something for 40 years at least. My parents used to laugh at me for it. I'm like, oh.
I forgot my headset yesterday when I went for my run. I was like, shit. I had to come back.
I'm always doing it.
Yeah.
Always doing
I'm
it.
always doing
I
it.
was like,
darling.
yeah, I can relate to that.
I can, yeah.
Must be my old age.
And then
Yeah.
I've taken it somewhere really dark.
Says, okay, yes, but hear me out. My precious, beloved, wonderful late mother-in-law went from a little case of the forgets to full-blown Alzheimer's and dementia in a space of 2 years, and then died. Please force them to go
Soul
to
sister.
the
Spirit animal.
to get checked. It can hurt to be. It can't hurt to be sure.
So, like-
it's better know that they're still okay.
So like rapid Alzheimer's.
Yeah, so it's gone like ha ha ha, a little bit of it.
And then there's me. You're going to die. There's me. Have you checked all your carbon monoxide?
You might have Alzheimer's. You might have dementia.
Did OP answer?
Yeah, I'm sorry about your late mother-in-law. She sounded like a great person. I don't really know how she could get.
She's trying to be nice, babe. She's nicer than me, yeah.
I get that you're worried, but don't worry. They're not even 60 years old yet. Even more reasons to check.
Definitely carbon monoxide poisoning.
But yeah, they're the picture of health. If it goes
Except the
worse,
carbon monoxide.
I'll let them. I'll get them to a neurologist. But thanks for worrying, though.
Just get the detector, babe. Right.
It took me 5 years to convince my mother-in-law to see the neurologist.
Oh my god. For fuck's
And it has
sake.
been obvious she needed to for a while. Before we even mentioned it, it doesn't hurt to get them baseline, and then
That would be me.
and there are drugs that can slow down the progression.
Oh, for God's sake. The likelihood of both mother and father developing Alzheimer's at the same time is like...
And didn't
really,
get the
really
power of
low.
attorney until last summer.
Oh, for God's sake, stop reading it!
And then it was too late!
Now they're all dead. Dead, I tell you.
I'd also say a
Oh my
blood
God.
test and check vitamin levels.
Vitamin B12.
Unless they do get their yearly checkups, low vitamins can play havoc on the memory.
Is everyone like, stop talking?
Everyone is just like, they're going to die. Get them checked.
Right. I'm moving on
Please do.
from your death. Right. We talk about childhood trauma, but children traumatise their parents just as much, if not more. I found this one a little bit interesting. It's very short. It's very, very short, people, yeah? Right now, one of the trending topics around the world is childhood trauma. How your parents did you wrong by doing X, Y, and Z. But we like to ignore the fact that children take their parents through a lot of as well. Doing absolute nonsense like throwing tantrums, crashing their parents' car, getting pregnant, and completely complete losers and dropping out of school. These events are often with a shrug and a smile, but they were very traumatizing and shocking for the parents. A lot of people need some serious, I'm not sure what that says, on this subject. What do you think?
Kids are the worst.
They are the fucking worst, mate. But also the very best.
I think it's
I agree with the post, which is what I found interesting.
As a parent, yeah, the kids are the fucking worst, and I'm pretty sure I've been traumatised through becoming a mother.
100%.
Like, and don't get me wrong, I'm quite sure my kids are traumatised too.
Probably.
Being my children.
Probably. So I've said it before, but in our group, mine are the eldest children, barring a friend who's got an elder son a year younger than Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my children are grown, as I've said many times, and I got to a point and I started saying to my friends when their kids were very little or as they were going on to have children, don't do it, because it is the worst thing.
I work in a school.
It is the
and
worst
there are teachers
thing.
who are younger than me, and I'm like, don't
Yes,
this
don't
isn't
do it,
enough.
don't
Surely
do it.
this is enough
Yeah.
for you. They're like, I'm like,
the thing is, right, they are the worst thing I have ever done, but also the best thing that I have ever done and accomplished is having my children. And I say this because watching them go through things and things happening in their life and them being arseholes to me is very, very traumatising. To watch your children go through anything. I can't tell you as a parent or a parent of older children or children that have gone through things when they're younger, as you know, my mum passing away, their dad having watching your children go through those things is fucking traumatising.
Yeah.
And the whole time you're just trying to be the best mum ever, and then they're proper little fucking cunts to you. It's like I can't tell you.
but I love you.
That I spent like a fucking entire year before my brain scan and seeing a fucking neuro doctor being put on amitriptyline, thinking about driving into a fucking tree. So, and every morning would be a fight, an argument, a fucking this, that and the other. And I was like, oh my God, what am I doing so wrong as a parent? So I could completely relate with the topic of that. You know,
I think you have to be a parent to understand
exactly.
it.
And I think as well, you know, watching someone be cruel to your child and them having no I mean, the list is never ending of what's bad, but I could give you a full list of what's amazing about being a parent.
Listen, definitely 100% as being a parent, the list of the positive always outweighs the negative.
Oh, see, I disagree.
Otherwise, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Otherwise, people wouldn't be doing it.
It does, yeah.
You certainly wouldn't be going on to have a second one.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know. It depends when you have the second
Also,
one.
when you do have your kids, you don't know
What's coming?
what's coming.
No.
Because every child is different.
Absolutely.
You parent every child differently.
Absolutely.
You can have one child and you can have 6 children.
Yeah.
That first child definitely gets parented different to the younger two.
Absolutely.
Because you are at a different point of your life
Absolutely.
as a parent.
Yeah.
They are in a different part of their lives as a child.
Yeah.
And then their school lives, their sibling life,
Yeah.
home life.
Everything.
Everything is different.
Yeah.
So you cannot know ever what is coming.
And the job is never over.
It's never over.
It's
No,
never
this is-
done. It's
Listen,
never
I'm
over.
I'm 41 years old, and I still go, hi Dad, can you come and help me please?
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, of course I can.
Yeah.
And then my mum's like, don't help her, don't help her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, I love you, Emily.
I think that, yeah, I think that definitely, you know, I don't try and give them much praise either, because I need them to be self-sufficient and independent, but they know that I fully and completely love them, and they're the best thing, but also the worst thing I've ever done. And that is, when I say the worst thing, that is simply due, it's not even that they give me a hard time, it's simply due to the way the world is, and the suffering and the hardships and the constant learning and education and things going wrong, and it's just, that is really the hardest part about being a parent. So I actually found it quite refreshing for someone to actually say it.
Actually put it out there,
Yeah.
real life shit.
Instead of going, oh my God, my children are the best ever, because it's just not fucking true.
It's not true.
For anybody. I don't
Anyone.
care. Yeah.
No. and you did slightly touch on it, watching your friends and their children and the things they go through. It is really hard.
It's really hard.
It is hard watching your friend's child be an arsehole in that moment, and you're like...
I think as well, the more the world changed, like for example, when we were at school, if there was a problem, you'd have your beef, probably a fight. The school wouldn't even bother ringing your parents, and it would kind of move on. There'd be a few bits and bobs.
Potentially, you and that person now get on.
Yeah, because you sorted out your issues. But it would kind of like, that is kind of the school we went to anyway. You know, in the toilets. Anyway.
Not me.
Yeah, but that... just me smoking in the toilet. But,
you're the reason I didn't go down to the toilets.
Why, what did I do wrong? What did I do?
You weren't there, I don't know. I weren't down there either. I was elsewhere.
But yeah, so... You know, my point is that the way the world is, and these kids, they come home and there's still no break, and it's still fucking bullying online, and so it's just getting worse and harder.
Yeah, and then you choose to work in the school. Why not?
That's crazy to me. I just couldn't. During COVID, I thought, my God, hats off to these teachers.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I was working in a school then, but I am not a qualified teacher, and what the teachers did.
No, man.
Hats off to them. Yeah, honestly.
So the first lockdown. So
we're not talking about lockdown.
No, I just have to say something. So my because my husband's vulnerable, the kids stayed home. Second, and let me tell you, my God. So anyway, even to get them to do their schoolwork. Oh, so the second lockdown, I went. You have a school day routine. You do your work. And then the day is yours, and if you don't do that, then you're going to school. And they were like, okay, we'll do our work, and they did, and that worked. First time I was like, mate, these teachers need a raise.
I hear that.
Yeah.
And I double that.
Literally double that. Because kids are the worst people.
Yes.
Right, anyway, moving on. I did think that was a nice little one. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too dark for me.
For you. I think I'm going to pick this one purely because you just touched on teaching.
Oh, brilliant.
But I'm not... I didn't read it. I was intrigued by the title.
Yeah.
So again, I'm still in Traumatised them back. It's got malicious complacence.
Okay.
Okay, so the title is Teacher was of the opinion that if I was able to walk at all, I shouldn't need a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So I showed her just how necessary it was for her class specifically.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, that okay.
Yeah. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm going to just chuck that in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway. In my last year of high school, I took a drama class in second semester. It felt a lot like kindergarten, but that's a post for another day. I have cerebral palsy and am technically able to walk, but that year I had just gotten my first wheelchair, and it happened to be a classmate's old chair that he had broken through misuse. So by second semester, I was using the wheelchair at school all day, but leaving it there. My drama teacher was particularly ableist, and that my classmate was completely able to walk, so she was fine with him using his wheelchair. But since the teacher was well aware that I could walk, she complained about my wheelchair every day. So one day when I'd had enough, I dropped the wheelchair off in the special room for kids with physical disabilities and walked to drama class, where I suddenly had so much trouble keeping up with all the running around my classmates did that halfway through the class I had to lay on the floor and rest. The teacher never complained again. That was it.
Fucking stupid bitch.
You're like, wow, okay.
Some people are like that though.
The ignorance.
Yeah, it's ignorance. And they are mainly people that nothing bad's ever happened to them in their lives.
The ignorant. I mean, as a teacher, why are you questioning this child's ability.
Because she's basically saying, if you can walk, then what you in a wheelchair for? This girl can walk, but she can walk for a limited period of time and slowly. And when she does, it wears her out. So stop being a massive fucking bitch cunt and relax.
I mean,
Do you know?
cerebral palsy, that's the big deal, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a birth defect, isn't it? But, you know, these people are just like, and they're everywhere. She sounds like a Karen.
Proper.
It's out of control, honestly. But yeah, fucking people.
Oh my god. So the top comment was, what a shame there are still people like that around, acting as though they know better. Good for you.
Yeah, doctor/teacher.
And they've put a subreddit on theirs which says, I love the smell of drama I didn't create. Top 1% commenter. Anyway. So many people seem to be under the impression that the two states of being are fully abled or paraplegic. Paraplegic?
Yeah, so basically you're either fully...
you are
or you're not. So
There's
she
no
would,
in between whatsoever.
she would class Paul as not.
Yeah, not. Can't see it, therefore it's not there.
Yeah. So when he stops and, you know, goes pale white...
She's part of the
he'd be like,
problem
she'd be
with
like,
the world.
oh...
This teacher,
Are you really ill?
Teacher though as well. What a shame.
But
Teacher.
Listen, that's the thing.
Ignorance.
Sometimes people go into teaching, babe, but they really shouldn't be in teaching. In fact, they shouldn't be around people or animals at all. No compassion.
No, terrible.
And how can you be a teacher?
How?
And be so cruel?
Honestly, this I have this argument with certain teachers, not
Yeah,
where I work, but
okay. I was
where,
like,
where my eldest son goes. Where is your fucking compassion?
Yeah, there is none. I used to say to...
Like, how dare you treat somebody like that and expect them to treat you better?
One of Harry's teachers, Harry liked him on and off, and I just cannot stand the idiot. And I used to say to him, I cannot stand... I told him to his face, I ain't got no problem. You know what I used to say to him? You want to get a life, mate, don't ya? All the time. All the time. He once told me white is not a Christmas colour.
Oh, that.
Oh, mate, he wants to get a life. Honestly, get a life, a hobby, a girlfriend, like, and get on with it. Stop, like, you're so weird.
White is not.
I'm hoping he listens.
Colour.
It is. Right. Anyway, I need to move on because I get all like irate. Idiot. I used to say to him, "Can you stop talking to me? I don't like you. Don't even know why you're here." I need to grow up, maybe. Anyway, right, my last one.
Go on.
Am I the arsehole?
Oh, yeah, go on.
Not me specifically, mate.
Oh, sorry.
Right. Am I this is an alright one, it's not, you know, deep down. Am I an arsehole for telling my friend that she isn't traumatised from somebody else's proposal?
Go on then.
I mean, it's already been stamped. So let's see if you can guess. I am 20, female, and have 3 close friends in college. Grace, 21.
Is there a reason why you've only got 3 close friends?
How many you got?
1. 3.
I think some of the girls are going to be hurt by that.
Close friends?
Yeah, close friends. Not best friends, close friends.
Oh, there's 7 of us.
Yeah, and then your other mate, Sammy, 8.
Well, I don't include myself. I'm 7.
Yeah, so it should be 7. Yeah, so take it back! Right, anyway, moving on. I, 20, female, and have 3...
Sammy, you got to mention. You better watch, bitch.
Does she watch?
I don't know.
Sammy!
She's got a lot of stuff going on.
She's like a new mum. Her life's only beginning to be ruined.
She does
more to come after the break.
Watching My Life wasn't enough.
Yeah, she was like, I know what I'll do.
I want a bit of that.
Yeah. I'm gonna have some number 1. Right.
Sorry.
I 20, female.
She has a nice life, actually.
I'm talking.
Sorry.
I 20, female. Fucking hell. Have had 3 close friends in college. You fucking bitch. Grace, 21, female.
My nose.
Good. Matt, 21, male, and Laura, 21, female.
I'd like to think I've got more than that many friends, but anyway. Sorry.
It doesn't say Emily's story, start reading here.
No, because it would take longer than this.
That's what I mean.
Go on.
Laura really likes using mental health terminology. She explores a lot of labels from those therapist influencers online. She was told that she had an anxiety disorder and depression, but that's only diagnosis that she's been given so far. Recently, she's been exploring autism and ADHD. Matt wanted to propose to Grace. They've been dating for a while. He's been planning the proposal for a couple of weeks, and while the proposal was very intimate between the two of them, I was very involved in scheduling the after proposal event at a restaurant. The specifics of that are irrelevant to the story, but it was lovely, and Grace and Matt seemed really happy.
Well done, you.
I know, it's cute. Laura told us that she didn't want to be involved in the planning of the proposal because it reminded her of her parents' divorce.
Oh.
I like her already. She said that she might come to the post-engagement party. Will come the day of the engagement, and both Matt and I forgot to check in on Laura. I don't think it's Matt's fault, because after all, he was occupied with far more important things. But I feel a bit guilty about not reminding her. She ended up not coming to the party. The next day, she started posting online some dramatic, for the lack of a better word.
When you know who your friends are.
When you know, you know. Things about how it was traumatising to see how little her friends cared about her, and that she's been updating her followers on her trauma therapy journey. She posts that she is now in a really dark place and thinks she might have PTSD. Fucking winds me up when people throw that around. For context, I'm pretty sensitive to mentions of trauma and PTSD because I was diagnosed with PTSD by a psychotherapist. Me too, sister. In my last year of high school, after something that had happened in my first, I felt a lot of guilt and shame around this because I spent a lot of time feeling that the things that happened wasn't bad enough to count. I sometimes still get nightmares and flashbacks, but it's gotten better after therapy. I know that I have my own issues wrapped up regarding the word, and it bothers me a lot when people seem to throw terms around without understanding their weight. But I also acknowledge that I can't stop the internet from doing its thing. I haven't told any of my college friends about this, so Laura doesn't know. At one point, here I go again. At one point, she called me and started explaining how traumatised she is. And I finally snapped and said, "You're not traumatised. Stop being dramatic. You just got exactly what you asked for." Now I feel guilty because I feel like I was a little harsh, and she's posting online without my name at least. That one friend that you thought you could rely to support you, she is an abuser and doesn't understand how being traumatised works. However, I feel like, honestly, Laura's being very dramatic about an event that was not about her. I called my mum to see what her opinion is, and she told me that I could have reminded Laura about the party, and while my point is not necessarily wrong, I could have been more sensitive. So now I'm not sure how wrong I am. Go!
I think it's not about you, and I think that you can't rely on. This was about your friends. These are people that you spend the time with all the time. These are your best friends. So why did you need someone else to remind you about the party?
And why
is it somebody else's responsibility?
And why can't you put aside your trauma or whatever it is, because I'm not saying she ain't going for anything, to be in somebody else's moment. I don't really understand how you can't take yourself to be, because I always say, if I'm winning, my friends are winning, vice versa. If they're winning, I'm winning, because nothing brings me more joy than to see my friends accomplish, be successful, their families be happy and healthy. That really is the ultimate goal that I want to see for my friends and family, and anyone else really, if I'm honest, you know what I mean, unless I hate you. But you get what I'm saying. Like, I really don't understand where you're like, I can't come because I keep touching your tit today because my auntie's uncle's brother's dog died.
Goldfish died.
It died. And
I'm traumatised.
I'm traumatised. So if you could remind me closer to the time. I mean,
about our best friends.
It's weird.
Engagement.
It's weird. And
everyone's openly talking about.
And if anything, you weren't harsh enough.
Your mum saying that, oh, maybe you could.
She's probably a lovely person, better person.
Maybe you could have, but that ultimately.
I don't think so.
But ultimately, that is not your responsibility. Like, could you have? Yeah, you probably could.
I think if it's important enough, I don't need to. I might need reminding the dates, but then that is when I'll pick up the phone and go, "When did you say it was, babe?"
It's not your job.
No, it's taking self-responsibility, right? So
doesn't matter how traumatised you are.
I'm sure this is going to be a shock to you, but she was deemed not the arsehole. Shocker. Top comment, not the arsehole. I cannot stand people who throw around psychological terminology without actual meaning to describe just their normal feelings. The person is absolutely creating their own drama and you want no part of it. That's top comment. It wasn't too much of a harsh one. I think she's just reached the point where she was really trying to make it about her other friends, and this girl,
which it should have been.
And this girl had lack of attention, and that's really what she's upset with. I'm not saying her mum and dad divorcing did not upset her, because my parents were still married until my mum's death, but so obviously I don't know what it's like to have separated parents. But my point is,
I don't see. I'm struggling to see the connection between two of your best mates coming together and your parents separating.
Yeah,
I'm struggling.
I'm struggling because they're two completely unrelated circumstances. Does that mean the girl's never going to get with anyone because it will remind her too much of her parents' divorce? It's weird, right? It's proper fucking weird.
It's excuses.
I don't think that...
It's excuses.
I don't think that even on the first Mother's Day after my mum died, I was like, sorry girls, I can't say Happy Mother's Day because my mum's dead. Unless it was a joke. Might have done it as a joke, to be fair. I mean, I did throw around, oh, I'm really sorry I forgot because my mum's dead. But you get what I'm saying.
I think even I threw it around a little bit with you.
Wasn't that to get stuff in Ibiza? Let me in, my mum died.
It was awful.
That's just trauma why we laugh. But my point is, I don't think I ever threw that and did not.
No.
You know, and not just my example. When your divorce, I don't think you've ever not celebrated anniversaries of your friends because you've been through a divorce. Do you see what I'm saying? I think that if you ain't rooting...
Yeah. I know Key was really because through my separation, my separation went on for a few years, didn't it?
Yeah.
But in that time, very early in that time, Keely got married. But she was very...
Was it early in that time? I was very drunk at her wedding. I barely remember anything.
Yeah, it was. And she was really worried because she didn't want to put her happiness and stuff on to me. And I was like, no, you've missed it. I'm getting separate. I'm having a divorce. This is a good thing for me in the long run.
Nor does it relate to you in any way.
At no point am I now bitter towards marriage or relationships or happiness or love.
Right.
Because these are amazing things.
Were you separated Tasha's wedding?
No.
Okay. Tasha, Sarah's? No. Just Keely's? Okay.
Just Keely's.
That wasn't... this is what I'm saying. It's
I
not
was like 8 stone at Keeley's.
Oh,
8
good
and a half.
times, good times. I was thinner. No, you didn't.
I did look awful.
In your
I look
opinion.
at those pictures and everything was just bony.
Oh, I miss those days. But never at one point during Keeley's wedding did I ever think, is Emily going to be all right? Because it wasn't about you.
No, it wasn't about me.
So I find
And if at any point I felt I can't do this, I would have just left. Like, Kate, I love you.
But it would have been weird for you to ever feel that way
No, I
at somebody
didn't feel
else's
that
wedding. So I don't know.
I was there
That's,
celebrating one of my best friends'
Yeah.
happiness. This was a great day.
that's what I'm saying, and this is why I really struggle to put myself in this woman's position where
you can't put,
because it's weird,
no,
right?
you can't. She is literally
She just needs
and
attention
she's literally
seeking, victim,
a victim.
a forever victim of herself.
Of herself, yeah.
Right,
And we know those, don't we?
oh, so many. Right, you can finish us off.
All right, I've decided on this one, but I'm not sure whether this is the right one to do. But I'm going to do this one anyway because
It's happening. It's happening, people.
So, I must have missed the memo.
Me too.
And
I
again,
did.
these are just short,
Mm-hmm.
and it says clever comeback. So
Okay.
we'll decide.
We'll be the judge of that.
Right. I'm a writer by nature, so I love celebrating my singular instincts of quick thinking.
Okay.
Way back in high school, our literature class was asked to draw examples of political opinion cartoons. For additional context, I am
Dominican Republic.
Shut up. Predominantly.
I can't even say. Predominantly.
That'll do. A wheelchair user.
Predominantly.
That is the word.
Yes.
A wheelchair user with limited mobility. So when one group got up there in front of the class and announced that a character in their cartoon was in a wheelchair because their life was over,
Oh.
I rather stunned myself at being able to instantly fire back, I must have missed that memo. Everyone seemed appropriately embarrassed and tried to backpedal, but I'm sorry, but I can't say I was particularly surprised or crushed. Ableism is going ableism.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I like his sense of humour. He took that to a good place, considering
He did that really well.
he could have been, you know, but at the same time, in the cartoon, they were just trying to say that obviously when shit happens, people do automatically think their life is over. But he did take it very well, and he must hear stupid shit like that all the time.
I must be dead then.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
I missed that one.
Yeah. Go on.
But hold on, I unclicked it.
Yeah, you were over it. Oh dear.
Very good. I wonder if they'd ever considered that you were in a wheelchair and clearly an actual person before that point. I hope they don't make the mistake more than once. Do you know what?
They forgot Larry was in the class, babe.
I don't think it was that. I think maybe that they're part of it, and actually they don't consider you as a wheelchair user and labelled, and actually you're just part of the class.
I know. I see now. Like when you say that, it's like our generation.
And you're like, oh yeah, I forgot you're in a wheelchair.
Yeah. But we would have.
Sorry,
answered
you're dead,
it. Yeah,
girl.
we would have answered it like that. We'd have been like, ah! But a lot of people were like, shit.
Yeah, like
It's
the
like-
panic.
When I worked in the nursing home, and I had to do the lunch menus that day, so obviously, you know, the more I read and write, the more it improves. But I'm dyslexic no matter what. But I was quite bad then, right? So I hand in these lunch menus, and then she went, "Oh, who wrote these? You jog idiot!" And I went, "I did. I'm dyslexic." Her poor little face was just
That's
like.
the best thing. You have that knack though. You do really have a real quick-witted,
The straight face
You
and
can come
the
back.
yeah,
It's
and I went.
brilliant.
I
And it's
did.
brilliant.
I'm dyslexic. Feel bad now, but I was like, "Oh, don't worry, babe." What did it say? I have no idea.
I'm that person that will go,
Yeah.
I didn't mean like that. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I'm like, I'm not racist.
I think the thing is,
The panic.
Yeah, but I think the thing is as well, like generally through my, you know, that I've always been like, oh, I'm going to get in there before you, mate.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I already know I can't read and write. Ooh, burn. You know what I mean? It was like me and Paul had a row once, and he went, you can only drive an automatic, and I was like, sorry, was that a dig? Oh no, burn.
But I can still drive.
I didn't really get the you can, and I was like, oh no, that hurt my feelings. Get a life, mate. So yeah, things like that. I'm like, oh, burn. You say that all the time. Remember, burn. Right, that's it. I'm done. Yeah. Goodbye, my darlings.
Peace out.
O-Town. Every time that goes in my head.
Be good to people.
That was quite a good song, that was. O-Town. O-Town.
Wow. What do you think of that? What don't you think of that? I think that girl has got everything that she